You are listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to American Pie Slices, the very first slice of this Cult Talk Net summer event. This is a limited run, 6-part weekly podcast that Mike and I have decided to do to look back retrospectively on one of our favorite movies of all time.
American Pie.
American Pie, the 1999 teen comedy classic. And in this podcast, what we're going to do is each week we're going to dip our fingers into this movie one slice at a time. And we're kicking things off right here at the very beginning of the movie. A thing we're going to do here in this podcast, Mike, when you think of American Pie, aside from teenage virginity, what do you think of?
Apple cider?
Apple cider. You think of beer and you think of apples. So each week we are going to start things off with a new apple themed beer.
What do we have today? We
have Ciderboys Mad Bark apple cinnamon red cider
for the boys.
For the boys, Cider Boys.
Wow, could we whiten up this podcast anymore? We are a couple of white guys watching American Pie with a full white cast, and now we're looking at Cider Boys.
Cider Boys. Yeah, I picked these up at Kroger with my Kroger Plus card, so you can whiten up a little bit more.
Right.
This is a Wisconsin brewery. Looks like, and we're kind of where Michigan is where American Pie was filmed, so we're not
right
quite
below
there.
it. No,
not quite there, yeah.
Close enough.
But this is done by the Stephen Point Brewery. I have never had this before.
Nor have I. I'm more of an Angry Orchard, or if I have to settle for Reds ale.
You're a cider guy. I'm more of like an IPA guy.
Yeah, you hate flavor.
I love flavor. So let's go ahead and let's try this out. This is, of course, has 5% alcohol volume.
Typical.
Yeah, it's typical beer.
Is it a twist?
It's a twist.
All right, let me set my mic down and get a twist.
Yeah, give it a twist. It's let's say smells like apple juice.
There, you heard me sipping.
Smells like apple juice.
Yeah, I don't waste time. I'm just like chug. That's good, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. You can really taste the apple and the cinnamon in it.
Yeah, because you got this off one of those like build your own shelf things, right?
The Kroger beer flights.
Yeah.
Kroger beer flights.
I typically don't get stuff from there because I, for the most part, don't like any of it.
Well, this Cider Boys, they had like a whole line of apple combinations. They had like apple peach, apple raspberry, apple mimosa.
Sounds like we'll revisit them.
Well, we got 6 episodes to get through, so I'm sure we can hit Cider Boys at some point as we're going through this. But not bad beer for the first episode. Of course, Cider Boys for the boys.
Right, for the boys.
And we're getting introduced to our boys here in this one. But this American Pie slices.
Well, we're gonna be breaking down American Pie into like the minute. I mean, we won't go. What are we doing? Like, by how many scenes are we doing at a time?
So it differs. This episode, we are doing 3 scenes. If you have, what we're using the unrated American Pie anniversary Blu-ray. So the scenes we're doing today are illegal channels, main titles, and the virgins. So this is really introducing us to our core group of characters. A good way to start things off.
And we're going to be just dissecting through American Pie, the first one, and just each episode is going to be very small sections, and we actually have it live on the TV right now where we're going to have it muted because we already watched through a couple of times with the live commentary. And
how many times do you think you've watched American Pie?
Oh, Jesus. 2 more than 1, but definitely still a lot. It's just, I don't know how I was allowed to. I don't even remember where I watched it first because I don't know how.
That's a good place to start. Yeah. When did you watch it the first time? When do you remember watching it the first time?
I have no idea because wow, it's just always been there. I couldn't even place it because there's I don't know how I was allowed to watch it in the household I grew up in.
You grew up in a really religious family.
Oh yeah, it was a super strict one.
It had to be a taboo flick.
Yeah, not quite Amish, but we might as well have been.
You guys, your family was pretty old fashioned.
Yeah, they still are. It's fine.
Yeah, mine not so much, but I don't know. I think I had to have watched this very early on in its release because we weren't teenagers when this came out.
No,
we were 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah, so 99. What month did it come out?
It came out in July 9th, 1990.
So we were 8.
Yeah, we were 8 years old. So I don't know if I watched it when it first. I obviously didn't go to theaters to see it. I know that. I know my dad wasn't taking me to go see American Pie, but I'm pretty sure I watched it not too long after that because we had one of those black boxes. One of the illegal television satellite things. I
thieves.
think we've well past statute of limitations, and I don't think I'll get in trouble for that. No one report me.
We'll see.
We'll see. If there's no episode 2, I've been indicted on charges of having an illegal satellite box when I was 9 years old.
Well, we'll just we'll record all the episodes before you get arrested.
Yes. Now, we had one of those. I'm pretty sure I watched it on pay-per-view.
My best guess is that I've watched it with my cousin and her husband, I guess.
Okay.
That's my only way I could figure I got around to watch it, because they kind of watched films of this manner and everything. But I cannot place the first time I ever watched it. But I was young. I know I was young.
Yeah, I remember like when this came out, everyone talked about it. Like you'd always hear about it in school or on the bus ride to school, and it was kind of like this like taboo thing. Like you thought it was basically a porno that got released in theaters,
right? It might as well have been at the time.
Is what it sounded like. Which the interesting thing about this movie is this isn't the first teen sex comedy by any means.
No.
But it was kind of this like resurgence of them, because the 80s you had like Porky's, Meatballs,
right,
all that stuff. But then like through the 90s, I think they became basically like pornography. They were
well, kind of at this time it was still like the standout, because I believe I'd have to bring up the list to be sure, but I think I looked at it before, where you had like 10 Things I Hate About You, She's All That. Those kind of films were coming out at the same time, so they were definitely the more, I guess, X-rated version of that teen comedy, really.
Right, but they brought like some heart to it. I think was what was missing from a lot of the teen comedies. It's like early 90s and all that. Teen comedies did just basically become a excuse for dick, fart, and tit jokes.
Yeah, it was very formulaic. I mean, even if you look at Not Another Teen Movie.
That came out way later.
Yeah, but I think it never made fun of American Pie. I don't think it did.
Yeah, I think it did.
I can't remember.
But even Not Another Teen Movie is a good flick. They did a really good job.
Oh, yeah, they did a good job of parodying and grabbing that formula that was going on with all those other films.
What a great time. Like that, like late half, like that fourth quarter in the 90s when you had it must have been great to be a teen actor back in those days. You pretty much just wrote your check on Hollywood. You could either get in the Scream franchise, you can hop on Dawson's Creek, pop up in Sabrina, show up in an American Pie movie. What a time!
Just to even be an actor during that time.
Yeah, absolutely. But man, these young actors back then, that was like a renaissance.
They had the pickings. They had such they had the gambit. They could run the gambit on all these teen things. See, even this movie, you have people like the one girl she's from Buffy. So I mean, a lot of these people you would recognize from things. I think we can go ahead and talk a little bit about American Pie. We'll start cutting into this flick. We're going to start cutting in?
Yeah, we're going to chop our first slice off.
All right, everyone. So we're going to dive in. What was the 3 scenes we're doing again?
We are doing illegal channels, main titles, and the virgins.
All right, so everyone just grab your apple cider, sit back, relax, and let the good times roll. Illegal channels.
We're coming in here with the opening.
Let's back it up.
Let's back it up a little bit.
What gets us to this first scene?
So this movie was originally written, or it's written by Adam Hers, and he submitted this movie under the title. Do you know what the title of this movie was called? The original script?
Well, let's mention this is Adam Hers' first screenwriting debut. Actually.
It is. Debut. What a way to bring it in. And he wrote this script and submitted it under the title Untitled Teenage Sex Comedy that could be made for under $10 million, which studio readers will likely hate, but I think you will love.
What a fucking mouthful that is.
That is.
Like that had
eye-catching title.
Yeah. It's like, how big did he make that font for the cover page when he was passing that around? Like,
right.
I need all this to fit on there.
I'm a sucker for the one-word titles. I don't know about the whole sentence title. I'm not a big one-sentence title guy.
Right. So it must caught someone's attention.
It did.
Yeah. Universal picked it up, right? Were they the first ones to pick it up?
No, there was actually a bidding war. There was a bidding war for the script at one point.
What a big head he got for his debut screenwriting. What a big head he got. Like, well, yeah, mine's getting like battled over my first script.
Now, this title would change a couple times. It would later be called East Grand Rapids High.
I see one where it was called changed to Great Falls during production.
Great Falls. That was, I think that's the actual title that it went into production under.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, production, Great Falls, and then when it was released, like for test screening and everything, people disliked the name.
It's a very generic title.
Yeah, just Great Falls. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't even fit. You know what? Even American Pie is still kind of a weird title, but it just works better.
It does work. I mean, with the line. I mean, that line sets it up. That we're going to here eventually. It just baffles me that American Pie is not used in this movie at all.
No, the song is not used.
American Pie.
That's not how that song goes.
No. What is? Oh, that's Cherry Pie. What is American Pie?
Bye,
oh,
Miss American Pie.
Man, 2 pie related songs. They didn't use not one in this movie.
Not one. Cherry Pie.
Shocking.
But
they didn't use not one pie themed song in this whole soundtrack.
Which I don't think they would got it cleared anyway.
I don't think it's necessary. It wouldn't fit. Because this movie, one of the things I love about this movie overall is the soundtrack, which we don't have a whole lot to go off here in this first episode, but we will get to in the second episode. Some bangers in this movie. Absolutely, movies of my songs of my childhood, if I do say so. Like, or even my teenage years when I got really heavy into the old stuff.
Yeah, probably close to that because you really. Now you like the 80s stuff that you weren't even around for, that retro synth.
That's not I mean, it's retro themed, but I'm not listening to like stuff from the 80s. It's things themed toward the 80s.
Right.
Synthwave. I'm a big synthwave guy. Retro wave. I like some neon grids.
Right. So anything else you'd like to mention before the film even got made at this moment?
Well, let's talk about the directors. This actually has 2 directors.
What's their names?
They're brothers, Paul and Chris Weitz.
Funny thing about how they came across it, nobody wanted to direct this movie.
Wow.
Like, the script was shopped around. The screenplay eventually sold for $650,000 to $750,000. What a weird range to give me. And the next step was...
Before after taxes or something.
Right, yeah, inflation or something. Yep. But somewhere around $650,000 to $750,000 what the script sold for. And then they couldn't find anyone to want to direct it. So according to executive producer Craig Perry, 70 people were sought before the movie eventually landed the brothers, Chris and Paul, as co-directors.
Like I said, it's directed by both these guys, but Paul is actually the only one who gets the credit.
Well, that's rude.
Yeah, they wanted to share a directing credit, but the Directors Guild denied their request, so Paul got solo
Oh,
billing.
yeah, the Guild is weird like that, because, yeah.
Fucking Guild. Damn.
They do that kind of weird shit to writers and stuff, too. That's all right.
Now, this movie was a big summer movie, which is obviously why we're doing this series in the summer, because this movie just, it gives me all the summer feels.
Yeah, I think out of the main 4, they don't take place in any other holiday. It's just summer happenings.
It's summer all the time. This whole movie just gives me nice summer vibes, 90s vibes. This was actually originally supposed to release on Valentine's Day, which February, if you know anything about movie releases, February is kind of a dump month. It's where you just kind of throw your shit out there and
get it out.
If it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But after this movie screened, it scored higher ratings in its screening than any other teen movie of all time. That includes Fast Times at Ridgemont High,
Close.
and The Breakfast Club. This movie got higher ratings than The Breakfast Club in its test screenings.
Did you see how long it took them to write the script?
How long?
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
That's pretty short.
I know they studied movies like Porky's and things like that to kind of get an idea, which, like I said, it amazed me because American Pie and Porky's are 2 different things, I feel like.
Yeah.
American Pie has so much heart, and I think that's what sets it apart. But yeah, this was originally to be dropped in the dump month. Then after those ratings, because it scored basically in the 90s all the way through. Like, it got 90% scores.
And Universal screwed themselves on release.
They did.
They sold the foreign rights.
They did. They didn't think there was any money in teen sex comedies.
Well, I mean, the thing was written in 6 weeks. They couldn't find a director. It's like, this thing's going to fucking flop. They figured it would do fine in America because it's an American Pie, It's an American-driven film. They're like, this ain't going to do well abroad, but fuck if it didn't bring in $132 million in the foreign box office.
Yeah, because this is like the end of the 90s where the summer blockbuster was like a thing. Like, summertime rolled around, you were looking for the big action set pieces, and Universal decided this little teen comedy was deserving of a summer blockbuster spot. The week after the 4th of July, they put it out.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. What else came out the summer of 1999?
Well, if you're looking at July specifically, it had a battle, kind of like. It was beaten by two. As far as the box office gross is concerned, there's two films that beat out American Pie in July.
Okay.
Only two. You have number one is Wild Wild West.
Wow. Jim West.
Desperado.
Man, what a movie.
I don't care what anyone says. I enjoy that film.
Wild West?
Yeah, I still enjoy it.
I watched it recently, man. I don't know. I used to think I really enjoyed it until I watched it for one of the beta episodes for Cult of Campbell back in the day.
Yeah. The other movie to beat out American Pie was Big Daddy.
Oh, I love that movie.
It's a good movie.
One of Adam Sandler's best movies.
And then American Pie right there at number 3.
Number 3. What a pull in.
Actually, kind of interesting. You know, top, like you keep saying, it's like, you know, more feeling, heartwarming, kind of, what do you keep saying? It's very heartfelt.
Got more heart.
Yeah, it's got more heart. So it's like Big Daddy, American Pie. And then after American Pie is Tarzan, like very heartwarming month.
That's summer of 1999. Like, even if you look at the rest of that summer, you had some big flicks, some movies I really liked.
Let's shoot down the top 10 here. So we had Wild Wild West, Big Daddy, American Pie, Tarzan, then The Haunting.
That's a good flick.
Which a weird time. I guess it really wasn't.
Yeah, that is a weird time. You think they would have saved that for October season, but Haunting's a good movie.
Oh, yeah. Then you had Star Wars Episode 1.
Wow. I remember falling asleep in the theater watching that.
Oof. Then Eyes Wide Shut. I don't think I ever watched that.
No, not my thing. I know it's like a orgy movie.
Probably. Oh, yeah. I think it is something like that. Then you had South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut.
That's a good one.
Now this Inspector Gadget.
Brian Boitano do.
Yeah, Inspector Gadget came out at the same time. I remember going to the drive-in and watching that.
Yeah, hands down to this day, the best McDonald's Happy Meal toy of all time.
Oh, Inspector Gadget?
Yeah, remember that? Remember that? What, 7 different pieces?
Right.
You got them all, and it made
you had to put it all together.
Man, 90s McDonald's.
And then the General's Daughter. I have no fucking clue.
Never heard of that. Also, though, that just that summer, you had Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Came in number 11.
Yeah, we're talking about July. Yeah.
It's still July.
Lake Placid. Yep. Love that flick.
And then Runaway Bride came out the same month.
It. This is one that Ben will love. The Blair Witch Project was that summer, 1999.
Yeah.
Deep Blue Sea.
Muppets from Space.
I tried watching Muppets from Space a while ago.
The Mummy came out.
Ooh. Brendan Fraser. The greatest action film of the 90s, bar none.
You know what else was going around in the theater still at that time?
What's that?
The Matrix. You know what? It had a time to come up there at number 3 in that month.
It did.
The only other teen comedies you have that start hitting the list of July as far as like box office for July itself, not the whole year. But at number 36 for that month was Never Been Kissed. That's Drew Barrymore. And then you had number 39 was the 10 Things I Hate About You. So,
okay. Yeah, just going through this list, man. Just some good shit.
Yeah, not too many teen comedies for the month of July that are doing well. Those are like the only ones I found, but yeah, it was a heck of a summer.
It was a summer. Damn. October Sky. I remember that movie from high school. I remember we watched that a lot in high school for some reason. The Black Mask, Jet Li.
Oh shit, Iron Giant was still in the theaters
Iron Giant. Vin Diesel's greatest movie.
Well, did he? I didn't even know that was him.
He was the voice of the Giant.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't.
We did a lot of that shit.
Yeah, he does Groot now.
Does Groot.
He took his training from the Giant and brought it to Groot.
Man, 1999. Great year for flicks.
Right.
Deep Blue Sea and Lake Placid, I still find myself watching those pretty regularly. They're perpetually in my rotation for movies.
And speaking of like the films out at the same time, it looks like the movie Tarzan, because it was out at the same time, premiered June 16th, second week in theaters. I'm looking here. Basically what this thing's getting at that I'm reading is that underage kids were watching American Pie when it came out.
Okay.
And they were buying tickets for Tarzan and sneaking into the theater for American Pie. Because like basically the numbers weren't matching up. It's like the theaters were full. Why are these numbers not right, sort of thing? Because on July 9th, it made $18.7 million for American Pie. And they're like, these theaters were way more full than that. So they basically came up with that kids were buying Tarzan, which is PG.
Right.
Or G even.
And that was even a similar with South Park, bigger, longer, uncut.
Right. So
people were suspecting kids were doing that as well.
Good on them. Good job,
I remember begging my dad to take me to go see South Park. He just wouldn't budge on that. Wouldn't budge on that.
He ain't raising no heathen.
Yeah, he raised no heathen. He tried. I tried. I don't know why. I wasn't even that big of a South Park fan growing up, but I was like, it was a taboo movie. It's like, ooh, I should really go see this.
Right. Anytime if something's taboo, it's like, I gotta go see it. Like, if they just would make less things taboo, it'd be better.
That's what I'm always saying. If you make it seem seedy, people are just drawn to that. Because even American Pie, not as tongue in cheek. I mean, there's some stuff in it. I mean,
oh yeah, I mean, there's no denying there is like you couldn't make this movie today.
You could not,
but it's still like again the core of it is very heartfelt.
There was even when this movie had its 20th anniversary, there was backlash on it just because of the dated.
Yeah, I think even Sean William Scott's come out and like talked against it. He's like, yeah, we couldn't do that today, but it was of the time sort of stuff.
Yeah, Shane Elizabeth, people often will cite her scene, which we'll get to that later in the series. But she's even came out and said, like, hey, that scene was bad, but like I wouldn't have a career if it wasn't for that. So
yeah,
it's all about perspective.
Right.
It was the 90s, brother. Different time.
90s, brother. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this film, Tyler. We're going to be kind of watching, rewinding, just really dissecting this.
Nice big Universal logo right here at the beginning. Pretty sure this is just the updated version, not the one you see in theaters.
No, the Universal thing's changed so many times.
It has,
which it's fine. So we got all these clothes. Hey, go ahead and pause that. Go ahead and back it up. I want to see what kind of things are trailing us on this ground, because that's a lot of the stuff. Like, what are you missing? That's what this dissection's about. Like, what are you missing? Just on a passerby.
A woman moaning. You got your backpack. What kind of sneakers got there? Got some Adidas.
Like, is he just did he just undress, or is like why are the
he came into that room and exploded out of his clothes. He was so ready. He's like, I have got a couple balls full that I need to unload on these scrambled illegal channels.
Well, presumably, I mean, it's one of two things. Is this the Sunday before going back to school, or is he doing this before going to school?
I'm pretty sure it's the Sunday before. Well, hell, I don't know. It could be. I mean, I don't know. Man, a morning yank. he's pretty into it.
That's what I'm wondering. It's like because these clothes are sprawled out in just some weird way that lead us to him. He's like just sitting on his bed.
He had to have just like got done hanging with the guys or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you ever have your parents burst into your room when you were a kid?
No, I didn't really have a room, Tyler.
Oh, sad.
I slept on a couch most of my growing up life.
Yep. There you go. Make it sad for us, Mike.
Oh, I brought us down. Sorry.
Yep. I had a room, but I never had my dad burst in my room. So
no.
I think my dad was pretty good with my privacy.
As far as it goes, I don't think I was ever caught masturbating.
I don't think I was either.
No, got lucky on that one.
Yeah, that's always good. That's a good little badge to leave your adolescence with, as you haven't been walked in on masturbating. If you've been walked in on masturbating, let us know your stories here in the comments below on youtube.com/culttalknet.
I don't know if I want to hear their stories, but go ahead. If you want to share it, I won't stop you.
One of the things I want to do in this podcast too is talk a little about the music, because
the porno music's going on for this.
Yeah, this is Love Muscle by the Sexorama Band. This apparently was some music from either a compilation disc, or this is like a tribute band to 70s porn music. But the Sexorama Band, they produced this Love Muscle, and it's very
just classic porn when people are making fun of porn music.
Oh yeah, just that old thing.
And then the voices you hear, the woman was the second.
She was the assistant DP,
assistant director. I think she was the second one though, like 9 or something, or assistant 2, something weird. They said in the commentary.
Yeah,
just some very little steps down. And then who's the guy? I can't remember his name.
Chris Klein, Oz, aka Oz. And now some of the lines we get here are "Ride me like a pony" and "Spank my hairy ass." But did you know?
Yeah, because they had other lines, right?
Those were not the original lines. The MPAA, Eric's favorite organization.
Oh yeah, he loves them. He is a huge fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him like an "I love MPAA" t-shirt. So I'm tired of hearing him talk about his love of the MPAA.
He just said they do such a great job.
They do such a great job. They make everything better. They had an issue with this scene. Now, the line "Ride me like a pony." Do you know what the original line for that was?
What was that?
"Blow your wad on my tits."
That's a better line.
It is a better line. It's a good request. Blow your wad on my tits.
But that does imply that we're toward the end of the porno. So it's like, maybe.
Yeah, I guess you got to figure out what your timeline. Where are you at in this? Where are you at in this porno? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe the MPA wasn't so much upset on like the use of line. They were like, wait, where are we at in this porno? You're confusing us as an audience.
Right. Yeah. Is Jim about to jerk off just for the end of this?
We here at the MPA are less concerned about the content, more about, making sure the audience has context.
Right.
And we're confused because this scene's still going on. If someone's telling you to blow their wad on your tits, you're thinking this is the last
about to wrap up.
This is the wrap up. But
So thank you, MPA.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, you may. I feel like I know I'm more in the middle. Of the movie.
Like
She's riding him like a pony.
Right.
And the line, "Spank my hairy ass." Do you know what that line was originally?
No.
"Play with my hairy balls."
That one could have fit in the timeline still. They could have left that.
I feel like that one isn't even that bad. Maybe I'm just like.
I guess they just didn't like the words tits and balls. Is the only thing I can imagine.
I guess MPAA. It's not like tits and.
I mean, the first one was just the timeline. Honestly, it wasn't about the tits. It was like, that don't make sense. She's going to say, "Come on my tits," and he's going to say, "Play with my balls." Well, I guess you could. I mean, those things would happen in conjunction. So
they would, yeah. I don't know.
But if he's riding her like a pony, how is she going to in turn also spank his hairy ass?
True.
Yeah.
Man,
some plot holes here.
There are some plot holes. We're finding them early. Now, this scene is just the ultimate adolescent embarrassment because, we're getting these scrambled channels. He sees a tit.
Yeah.
He does see a tit.
That's a tit.
And we, the audience, can clearly see a tit. And he's got his tube sock.
Yeah. I just love, he picks it up and, he
presents it to the woman like, hey, I brought my tube sock, baby. And he slaps this tube sock over his hog. Do you know what it's not Jason Biggs' real dick, unfortunately, if you guys were wondering. It's not his real dick.
No, it was actually a salami.
It's a sausage. Yeah, it's a sausage.
I think they threw a pencil or pen or something through it.
Yeah, so this was picked up from the morning breakfast from catering. They did give him the option. They said, "Jason, we got 2 sausages here. We got a big one. We got a medium-sized one. Which one do you want?"
The big one. Of course,
Jason Biggs said, "I want the big one. I want the big one."
Yeah.
So they stuck this on a pencil, wrapped it in aluminum foil, and it was still warm.
Oh, nice.
Still warm. Must have felt nice.
Wonder how they secured it to him. Does it say?
It doesn't say. I think he just held it between his legs. Just put it between his legs.
Yeah, probably.
And he just held it there, slapped a tube sock over it. And it's not a bad way to make keep from making a mess.
Go back for a second.
Okay.
Because my ADD brain likes to try to check things out.
Right here?
No, back a little more. Back on where we can see the TV and the tit and all that. Yeah, right there. I want to see what these stickers are on the TV. They look like just flags, but I want to make sure. Yeah, those at the bottom. Are those just flags?
Yeah, they're just flags. So we got France. I can't really read them. They're just some flags. What kind of television has he got here? It's a box TV.
Is it a Vox?
No, it's a box TV.
Oh, yeah, just a box TV. And their integrity? I can't read.
Think they got paid for that?
No, not a chance.
They got paid for that one? Okay. Let's continue on here because I want to see the stuff.
Yeah, because I see the magazines. I wonder what's there. Jim's a baseball fan, but he doesn't do sports, right?
No, he's not a big sports guy, but he's got a basketball hoop in his room. That's an upper class white thing to have.
He's got alien on it. Do you think he believes?
He's a believer.
He's got to be a believer.
Yeah, I wonder if Jason Biggs listens to Cult Talk Next, Cult Talk Conspiracy.
He's got to.
Releasing every other Tuesday.
I never understood having license plates on your wall.
Neither did I. What do we got here? Can we see what they are? Michigan. I see a Michigan one.
Right. It's hard to say.
I think that was more just so you can press that, hey, this is in Michigan. But he's got some awards. He does have some awards. So I think he may have played baseball at one point. I mean, we don't know. This is the end of the year.
Right. Because
he could be a baseball.
Baseball's a summer sport.
It is, and this is a generic baseball poster. It says baseball.
Yeah, just
baseball. Go team.
Now, something that just caught my eye. Mm-hmm. You see on his side fucking whatever back there at the lamp.
His end table, yeah.
Yeah, his end table. Is that a used wad right there?
Could be tissue.
Has he just been jerking it all day?
Yeah.
If this is a Sunday, has he just been jerking it all day and we see the remnants of it back there?
It's a Sunday. You're going back to school tomorrow. You got to unwind somehow, Mike. It's the 90s. You don't have gaming systems. So you can go online, play with your buddies. You don't have Netflix. You got to have some way to cut loose.
Something. Yeah.
This is the Columbine era. You got to do something to keep yourself from, going on that path. And a nice Sunday yank ssession is what better way?
It's the best way. Really.
It's the best way.
Yeah. It just looks like there's a used tissue back there.
But why did he run out of tissues? He's now like, I got to use my tube socks.
You ever used a tube sock?
I've never used a tube sock. I like my socks to be nice and crisp. I don't want to be crunchy.
Oh, I guess he's had to do baseball too, because that's like a baseball sock. That's a long sock. That has to be
a long sock.
That has to be he has to play baseball.
Jim, Yeah, Jim Levinson is a baseball player. We found it out in the first 52 seconds of this movie.
They don't talk about it anywhere, but
maybe he's not very good. He's not an athletic person.
No, not really. I mean,
I played baseball, and I don't talk about that.
I mean, he's not clumsy either, really. He might be.
He's kind of a dope. He's
just a dope dude, yeah.
But I like the basketball hoop in the room. I just don't see...
I can't imagine just wearing... If you're going to use the tube sock, also keeping your underwear on, I don't...
I guess originally in this scene, he was supposed to have... he's supposed to be naked from the waist down with a bare ass.
Yeah, that'd make more sense. But I see why they did that for film.
They decided to draw the line. They were like, hey, let's... Jason Biggs, I guess, was like, hey, I don't want to show my ass. So they decided to go with the boxers instead, which he doesn't show his ass in this at all.
No, I don't think so.
He's always boxered up. I don't know if he shows his ass in the second one. But.
I think he does, but when he's on the roof.
Now, originally, his mom walks in.
And he's a messy room. I mean,
he's a teenager.
Man.
He's a teenager. His mom walks in. Jim's mom is played by Molly Cheek. Sounds like a porno actress name, doesn't it? Molly Cheek.
I wonder if she probably done at some point. Maybe.
No, she never did any porn. Looks like she's mainly known for she did some TV in the 80s, 70s. Looks like she's on a lot of stuff, TV films. She's on Chips, Dynasty, St. Elsewhere.
Just a lot of TV.
Hardcastle and McCormick. Family Ties. She was on an episode of Family Ties. She was in the Harry and the Hendersons TV show as Nancy Henderson. So that's something she was in. And the rest of that, she was just in TV movies, little guest spots on television shows. Looks like her last credits here, 2012, she was in a episode of The New Girl. And
which I watched some of that. It's funny.
Yeah, she's retired. She's still alive. She's in her 70s. Does a lot of dinner theater work, I guess. She's just an actress.
So how long in her career before she did American Pie?
Ooh, she was, let's see, she started working in 1979. She did this in 80, so she was acting for 20 years.
Sheesh.
And then she got the role as Jim's mom, Molly Cheek, which is her most noted role, is the mom of Jim Levinson.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, while we're looking at her and we got them both on the screen, we might as well step back and look at Jason Biggs and see what he had going on.
Yeah, relatively unknown at this point, right? He was...
Relatively. Looks like also... some TV shows he did. We could actually just go through them before American Pie. There's not.
Oh yeah, there's not
so
much.
He did a voice, Mike Mulligan, and his steam shovel. He was the little boy voice in 1990.
What the fuck is that?
Some TV movie.
Something for the National Education Association, based on a children's book.
And we had a HBO storybook musicals. He did the little boy voice, and that also a TV series, one episode. And he got a movie, The Boy Who Cried Bitch.
Oh,
that's actually a good title.
That was his first speaking role, it says. I guess on-screen speaking role. Also had Adrian Brody in it. Interesting.
1991. So yeah. He did 14 episodes in Drexel's Class. He was Willie. It was a TV series, 91 to 92. I guess how old was he then? Because this came out in 99. So he's doing like the little boy voices for, how old is he in this?
He was 20. He was 20 years old. So he wasn't too much older than he was.
So I guess he was 10 years old when he's doing little boy voices, whatever.
And he still does voices. He was Leonardo for a little while in the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtle TV show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got booted from that because he's very non-PC on Twitter.
And then he landed on As the World Turns.
Well, classic.
7 episodes between 94 and 95. Then he landed another full-length film, Camp Stories. He played Abby in 1996. Then he went back to TV. He played Robbie Rosenfield on Total Security for 6 episodes in 97.
Okay.
And then he landed American Pie.
It's big, and that's where things just kicked off. I love American Pie. You look at some of the awards it got. The Blockbuster Entertainment Movie Award. He got nominated for Favorite Actor, Best Newcomer. What a time when you could have a Blockbuster Entertainment Award. What if that was your only award you ever won? Was you were a Blockbuster Entertainment Award nominee?
Accomplishment.
Yeah. He also got nominated for Teen Choice Award that year. Man, I remember the Teen Choice Awards were a big deal. MTV Movie Award, Best Breakthrough Performance.
I like the American Pie 2 and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back came out the same year. because he was in both of those.
We'll try to talk too much about American Pie 2 because that's one I cannot wait to get to. Because
Right.
there might be sequels to this series. You never know. But man, yeah, Jason Biggs. Could you imagine anyone else other than Jason Biggs?
I don't know.
I couldn't. It's just
Such a quirky, weird role.
He is. So his mom just burst in. First thing you do, she wants to give him a kiss.
Oh, good night. Oh, so this is
This is the day before. This is the evening. Maybe it is. It does look very day. So daylight savings time. What's his bedtime? What's her bedtime? Maybe she has to work early or something.
Maybe she's going to bed.
Maybe she has like some kind of weird work schedule.
Because we don't know what the parents do for work.
We don't. We find out a little about Jim's dad, I think, later throughout the series because Eugene Levy is in.
But it does look daytime as shit.
It does.
But she's saying good night. Probably just good night for her. So this has to be the Sunday before, and he has been ganking it all day.
So would you kiss your mom? Would you give her a little peck on the cheek?
I don't know. I would just hope it wouldn't come up. It's one of those things in the moment. Like, Mom, please don't.
Yeah, she leans over and gives him a little peck on the cheek. A kiss in the mouth.
Was it a kiss in the mouth?
Yeah.
Some families are like that. It's fine.
Some people are. Some people are like that.
I still have an aunt that when she goes in and kisses me, she has me kiss her on the lips. I'm like, whatever, I guess. It just puckers up like, okay, Mom. I'm jerking off right now. You know what I do on my Sundays?
What an awkward time. I mean, this scene does just embody cringe in every aspect.
But you love cringe.
I do love cringe, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd give my mom a kiss.
So what do we know about Jim? He's a baseball player using his baseball sock. His Sunday night, he's been jerking it all day.
He spends his Sunday evenings.
He loves the flags. He likes seeing the flags on his TV. He does.
He might be a geography guy.
Yeah, because we don't know.
Now she spotted the show.
Yeah. Well, she sees the warped image on the screen. There's our TV, Trenton-tron.
Trinity-tron. Trinity-tron. I've never heard of a Trinity-tron television. Now I got to look up if...
Was this an actual sex scene, though? Or is this just kind of...
I feel like they probably got, like... Because it's scrambled. I bet they didn't have to pay for it. I mean, they scrambled the shit out of it. Is anyone going to be like, no, that's my ass in the air?
Yeah, because it does look like it's an actual scene. They just warped it beyond belief.
So this is actually... So Trinity-tron was Sony's brand name for its line of CRT televisions.
If you need to get your retro gaming on, you're that or... Oh, we can see the names of the flags, too.
So we got Yemen. We got Switzerland, Venezuela.
Switzerland, is that where Nadia's from?
Maybe.
I can't remember. No,
Czechoslovakia. Yeah. Venezuela, Sri Lanka, and Uruguay.
Why Uruguay? Yeah. I don't know why he has these, but they're there.
He might be a geography guy. Maybe he's been to those places. Maybe they've went on a little... Yeah,
they probably are some kind of rich family, yeah.
They are, obviously. This is a rich, white, upper-class family. Yeah. They might have been going, like, little trips.
That's possible.
Yeah.
But definitely that's got to be a real sex
90s were a good financial time for white families. Not mine, but...
Yeah, not mine.
some white families. Yeah. So what's your excuse? Your mom walks in, you have scrambled... Did you ever watch scrambled porn? Did you ever...
No. Probably the closest equivalent I would have would just be where you could go on a porn site and they had like the 60-second demo.
Oh, yeah.
Just rewinding that 60-second demo over and over again until you got it. Like,
kids don't know how good they have it nowadays.
No, they fucking don't. Those bitches.
It was so hard to find porn back in the 90s. I had a black box, so I had access to the Spice Channel.
Oh, when I found Skinamax, Jesus, that was the blast.
Skinamax, man, you get back and look, and those are
horrible.
God, those are horrible. It's not even. I look at it. Well, maybe it's because my mind's been so tainted now. But I'm like, how do you like look down on it? Look down on it like I'm like it's beneath me. Like, can you imagine? Some people have to resort to this. Like I feel bad. Like I
need a higher class pornography myself.
I couldn't be bothered to have a yank to this.
But thank you, Skinamax, for my...
Thank you, Skinamax. You did it, yeah. Yeah.
Even if you took out the sex scenes, they were just like B movies.
They were. Jim Wynorski directed a lot. Jim Wynorski directed a lot of my really shitty horror movies I watched.
Yeah, he did the Skinamax also?
He did, yeah. Jim Papadopoulos was his name. He went under...
It had to be awkward to be those actors, because those... I've looked up... Of course I did. Later... those actors are actual porn stars also.
Yeah, and they're just getting a little.
So that's kind of like a day off for them.
Yeah, I remember there's a documentary called Papatopoulos about Jim Wynorski, and they're following him around while he's making The Witches of Brestwick.
Oh, I've watched that one.
Yeah, it's classic. They follow him around while he's watching that. It looks just like a nightmare. Like they're just like it's just like a 20. You have like 24 hours shoot a flick. And you have a thing called a cock sock because you can't have any contact between the genitalia, or else it becomes like an actual.
I bet you could still find those films and stuff.
Maybe you should. Maybe we'll do a podcast on. That's our next retrospective podcast. The films of late '90s Skinamax.
Oh boy,
what a sad time. Yeah, I never had to resort to the scrambled channels.
No, luckily there's at least enough available that I didn't have to.
The thing when I was younger was finding the Girls Gone Wild paid advertisements.
Yeah,
that was enough. I was desperate. That was enough to like. You know.
So this is the time before you found out you were gay. Before you caught the gay.
Yeah, before I caught the gay. I was But how when you're that age, I think you'll yank one out to anything that seems remotely pornographic.
It's like, is that table leg? Close enough.
It's close enough. Yeah.
But yeah, Scramble Channel, never had to deal with that. Luckily it's scrambled enough that Jim's mom doesn't realize what's exactly going on until she starts hearing some words.
He almost gets away with it. He tells her it's a nature channel that's the satellite screwed up.
Yeah,
satellite screwed up, and then of course he should have. Why did he not just turn the TV off?
I think he was trying to turn it off. He
turned the volume. Yeah, he actually turned the volume up, and we got the girl shouts out.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah,
or do me, yes.
Baby, ride me like a pony.
It's like, this thing must be broken.
Sound the remote or something. She's caught on. She's a smart lady.
Yep, I'm all set, Dad.
Like, he's like getting himself in for bed. You all ready for bed, son? He says. What time does he have a bedtime? Does Jim have a 9 p.m. bedtime?
And who we have enter a screen? Eugene Levy. Right?
Eugene Levy, comedy legend.
He was skeptical about doing this. He thought that character was too creepy. He thought he was too creepy of a character.
Man, he makes this movie.
Oh, yeah, he made the series. He's the only thing that links the series.
Yeah, I think there's only one flick that he's not in. It's the latest one that got released on Netflix, Girls Rule.
And he's doing like a travel show now for Discovery or something. Now I seen him
fantastic.
the other day doing it.
He's a great actor. He's a Canadian. He was from I'm trying to think what the comedy troupe is. There's a comedy troupe from Canada where John Candy and everyone came from.
All right, I'm trying to look at his. God, he goes way back, don't he?
He does. He's been at it for a minute.
So, very first thing, back in 71, Foxy Lady, Cannibal Girl, Sunshine Hour. I'm just shooting through. See if anything I recognize. You'd probably recognize stuff before I would. He was in Heavy Metal. Jesus.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Heavy Metal?
I did. Very recently. I showed Evan Heavy Metal.
He did National Lampoon's Vacation. He was a car salesman. You watch that one?
Oh, yeah. I watched that recently as well. That's right.
He was in Splash. Did you ever watch Splash? It's not quite your zone.
No. SCTV was what he was part of. SCTV.
Yeah. Did 18 episodes of that through 83 to 84.
Man, that was fantastic. John Candy.
I guess he did 38 episodes, 81 to 83 too. So
John Candy, Catherine O'Hara.
He was on there a few times. Shit.
He was part of it. It was a comedy troupe. Harold Ramis was part of that. Martin Short.
Is it like the equivalent of like Impractical Jokers these days?
It's the Canadian Saturday Night Live. Is basically what it was. Yeah, the Second City TV is what it was. It was from Toronto.
I'm trying to find like the first thing I know him from. I guess the Vacation, but I only watched that like once.
Really?
Yeah. I'm trying to see.
I find that most people do that more. Most people see him at Christmas Vacation more than they have any other vacation film.
Oh yeah, I watched him in. I just watched this the other day. Almost Heroes. He was in that.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's the French trapper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fantastic. He
did watch Holy Man?
Eddie Murphy, right?
Yeah, he was just a guy on background TV. Never mind. Not even worth mentioning. But it was a good film. I liked it.
Yeah.
Richie Rich Christmas Wish. He did The Wonderful World of Disney. He played Larry on a TV series. One episode, 99. And that same year, he came over to American Pie.
And man, he comes in, and it does just blow my mind. What time is it? 'Cause look at him. Look how he's dressed. He's just getting off work or something.
Right, because she's saying good night. He's saying good night.
Yeah,
it's daytime outside. They're all bed. Both of them are complete. Maybe they just got back from a date or something. I don't know.
Maybe, or just I don't know.
It is a weird timing thing. I don't know what's.
I'm not a big short sleeve button up with tie guy. That's not a look for me.
Or if he just hung his jacket up, I guess.
Maybe.
Well, I guess we never see him wearing a jacket.
I'm more of a long sleeve button up, rolled up sleeves kind of guy. I like that look.
Well, you're just not cool like Eugene.
I guess.
What's his dad's name?
He's only called in this movie Jim's dad, or I think he's even referred to as Mr. Levinstein.
Yeah, like by the other guys and everything.
Yeah, but I don't think you actually find his name until like the American Pie Presents like band camp, I think.
Somewhere later.
And we find out his name is Noah. Noah Levinson is his Levinstein. Noah Levinstein is his name.
You know who's considered for this role?
Who's that?
Bill Murray.
Oh, wow. That'd been fantastic. I feel like that kind of overshadowed things, though.
Yeah, it would have distracted, I think.
Yeah, if all of a sudden Bill Murray just walks in.
Like, well, it's fucking Bill Murray.
I think that would have taken from it.
Because it's really kind of, I mean, without, besides Eugene Levy, it's kind of like a nothing cast, right?
It really is.
He's trying to watch some illegal channels. Yeah.
They said the name of the scene.
They said it.
Illegal channels. See, it's just bad reception. It's better. And that's where we get the old spank my hairy ass.
Say what now? No, Eugene Levy played this very well.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Murray could have done it some just like you said, it would have overshadowed it and everything. But I think Eugene Levy was like the guy for this.
Oh, yeah. And of course, now they're rolling to him. Like it's obviously a pornographic channel you're trying to watch here. So Eugene grabs a remote, says, "Give me that," and rips the remote
and the mom
from his lap.
Mom sees her son's erection.
His erection just hanging there, covered only with a tube sock.
Tube sock. You know who else could have done that?
What a
Jim's
shot.
dad.
I want that as a painting.
That right there.
Yeah, that scene as a painting. That would be a great little picture to have on your wall.
Well, you know an artist.
I do know an artist.
Just screen cap this. Like, hey, yeah. I need this.
Give me. I need this for my wall. Man. Yeah.
What's his name from? I forget his name now for some reason. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Planes, Trains, Automobiles.
Main guy.
Oh, John Candy.
John Candy. I bet.
Yeah.
Not John Candy. The other one.
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. I bet Steve Martin could have done.
Yeah.
Jim's dad.
Steve Martin had. Yeah. He would have been fine. But I think just Noah Levinson is the perfect choice of, hey, I recognize that guy, but you're not like, oh, it's that guy, like where it distracts. Like he's just the perfect subtlety for this. I think it's just fantastic.
Right.
He actually did get nominated for a Blockbuster Entertainment Award for favorite supporting actor from this movie.
Oh, very well.
The prestigious Blockbuster Entertainment Award.
I think this is like the only time the mom really plays a role. Do we ever see her again?
Yeah, she's in the core 3, 2. No, I don't know if she's in 2.
No, she's
in 2. She's at the beginning of 2. She's in Wedding.
Okay.
And they spoiler alert, kill her off in Reunion.
Yeah, I don't think we see her again in this one though.
Yeah, she's in it a couple times.
Is she?
Yeah, when he runs out and all that, she's in it.
Oh yeah, I guess they are sitting at the table.
Yeah,
and
we'll
stuff.
get to it.
But she really don't play a role in the films, really.
There's his schlong.
Big salami.
Yep. Covered with a tube sock.
Covered with tube sock. Now you covered it up with a blanket, pearl blanket.
What the hell
Just
is the matter with this thing?
And the dad's trying to help him. Like Jim's dad is trying so hard.
Well, yeah, as a man, you know what's going on.
Right.
You know what's happening here. You're
and he's just sweating. He is,
which is just a.
Which there's another. Didn't you say there was another reason? Like
yeah, so throughout this whole movie, Jim is just a greasy boy.
Yeah,
he is glistening. They had to really turn the lights away from him because he's just catching light every shot, and that's because they filmed all the interiors were built in a warehouse where they had no air conditioning in LA.
And he just had the worst time. We'll get into it.
Temps were reaching 100 degrees.
Yeah, we'll get into later episodes about Jim's
and the boy is just
problems.
He's just greasy.
Because the rest of them are sweaty, but nothing like Jason Bates.
It always just shows, which I think that greasy look is just the 90s. Like the hair. What was it in the 90s where it was like the greasier you can get your hair, the cooler you look.
Right.
I don't know what the deal was there. 90s. Different time, brother.
Yeah, just defeated Jim.
That was the first scene there. That's illegal channels. And here we are. We get our American Pie title card right over the East Great Falls High School, which you didn't mention was his high school. It's hanging on the back behind the bed.
Which is based off an actual high school of the writers that they attended.
Yeah, they went to East Great Rapids.
Yeah, something like that.
In Michigan, which is where this movie takes place in Michigan.
Filmed in California. Takes place in Michigan.
Bummed because I was like, man, I'd really like to try going to a couple of these locations, but I don't want to go to California to do it.
No.
Michigan, that would have been kind of a cool little trip to take. And this is a great open main title sequence Titles are just pretty.
And they got the crane up here, so they got a budget.
Yep, Jim, Shane Elizabeth, or Jason, Shane Elizabeth, Allison Hannigan, and here we're introduced to our first of Jim's friends,
Oz.
Chris Klein,
who was supposed to be like a bigger deal than he turned out to be.
I feel like Chris Klein was. After this movie, I feel like he was going to be like the standout guy. And he tried. They did a couple things. He did a couple like attempts to be like the guy. I remember Rollerball. You remember Rollerball?
Did not watch Rollerball.
With LL Cool J?
Nope.
That was, I remember, a pretty big, like his first attempt trying to be a breakout action star. Just didn't quite pan out for Chris Klein.
I don't think I know there was one movie of his I thought about watching, but I never watched anything that he was like a star in outside of the American Pie films, I don't think. Let me take a look. I'll take a look at his filmography here. Just all American Pie films, of course. Nothing really. He was in Just Friends. I didn't watch that. We Were Soldiers. I didn't get around to watching that.
We Were Soldiers. Remember, that was a big one he tried to do. He was featured in Mel Gibson.
Yeah, he only did 4 films. No, not even. He did 1 film before this.
What was that?
Election. He played Paul Metzler. Came out the same year, 99.
Oh, okay. So he was just kicking things off. Got a nice little role in American Pie.
So he's like the first of the main cast that we see that didn't have a backlog of stuff.
And he looks great. He's leading man material.
I would say though, I mean, it kind of shows that his first couple of films, because I'd say he's not the strongest actor so far. Like, he's not bad. I think he plays the role fine, but he's not the strongest actor of the bunch.
It might be in the early draft of the script. You know what his name was? Instead of Oz?
I've seen there was something about a bunch of weird names.
Zai. X or Z-Y. Zai. I don't know.
Oz is better.
Yeah, Oz is much better.
Definitely more Midwest.
I don't think I would have. Zai just sounds like a hacker from an early 90s.
Yeah.
Techno thriller.
Like the movie Hackers with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, there could have been someone named Zai, I'm sure. And here we get one of the more awkward deliveries, one of the more awkward lines.
Even in the commentary, they're like, this is the worst.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. And this is...
because he's telling Oz about basically what happened. Like,
yeah,
which I never told my bros about my jerking off escapades. Like,
well, did you ever have something as eventful as that? You never had an event where it was like, I feel like you would kind of have to tell someone about that, because it's so unbelievable that this happened right in front of, like, you were present for this chaos that happened when you were just trying to have your 15th yank of the day on a nice chill Sunday. Yeah. And your mom and dad, walk in and
just come barging in with your huge erection. And
yeah, I feel like you'd have to tell someone. And Oz's response to this is illegal channels. The only I'll tell you what channel should be illegal. Those women's channels, lifetime supply of pantyhose or some shit.
It's like, what the fuck? He's just going for the Lifetime channel. I get it.
It's a bad line. Really, really bad writing. But it does sound like something stupid that some teenager would say.
Yeah.
Trying to be clever. Like, I lifetime supply of pantyhose, some shit. Yeah.
And Oz is a jock bro.
He is a jock bro, but he's a virgin as well. That's where we kind of learn, is this core group of guys are unfortunately all...
Yeah, I guess you could be a jock bro and just not
virgins.
Get legs.
He has no moves. He's
we'll get into those moves later.
We will get into those moves later, but Chris Klein, man, what could have been? I don't know.
I'm trying to think like how these guys are friends too, because I imagine their sport. These two, I believe now after watching it, because I never thought about it before. I believe Jim plays baseball.
You do?
I believe that.
Okay.
I'll keep that as canon in my mind until proven otherwise.
Okay.
So I imagine these guys have done sports together at some point. Maybe Oz even plays baseball himself.
Well, we know Oz is a big lacrosse guy.
Yeah, he's big lacrosse guy. But, in high school, you play multiple sports. It just happens. So
yeah,
I imagine these guys have done sports together at some point is why they're friends.
Yeah, I'd say Jim probably plays baseball recreationally.
Yeah, just something.
Might not even still play. Might have played at some point.
Because I don't think we ever, throughout the whole series, discover why they're friends, do we?
No, just buds.
Just buds.
Yeah,
just buds. I'm maintaining that these two have done sports things together.
Okay, that's your headcanon.
That's my headcanon anyway.
Jim Levenstein, baseball star.
Not star. Just plays baseball.
Jim Levenstein, baseball player.
Baseball guy.
Yeah, Jim Levenstein, recreational baseball player.
He kills it at the rec league.
Yeah, he kills at the rec league. The delivery in this line, pretty lame.
Yeah.
Do you know studio execs actually had a kind of a a nickname for this movie. You know what it's called?
What was it called?
Zombie High, because of how slow the young actors delivered their lines. So studio execs would call this Zombie High in like their meetings. How's Zombie High doing?
Oh my God.
Yeah, because these young actors just
well, they're just I mean, they were young actors. They're just making sure they hit their lines. So luckily, I don't think it ruined anything. I mean,
No,
yeah, I guess they do kind of say their lines pretty slow. It's very like my line, your line, my line, your line kind of film. And that's not how you're supposed to deliver dialogue. I get it.
No.
Hey, did you see the Little Mermaid on TV? Yeah, just Jim is just jerking off to literally anything he can.
Yeah, did you see Little Mermaid on TV last night? No, Ariel, she's hot.
So that just really plays into our like just on Sundays, Jim's just jerking it all day.
He's got a lot of pin up sexual frustration.
Yeah, but Jesus, Jim,
she's a mermaid, dude.
Not when she's on land. No,
she's on land.
That's what he said.
That's like, true. That's true.
Like,
yeah.
Not when she's on land.
Yeah. Now, this scene does a great job. This opening title sequence, fantastic. They do such a good job introducing characters. And we heard in the commentary, this was originally a standalone 15-minute sequence.
I think it was 20.
Yeah, 15, 20 minutes of this montage of characters. But man, glad they didn't do it, because this like I think it comes out to like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So tight. Just, and we introduce all of our characters. We're about to meet two of our other characters here. Kevin, played by Thomas Ian Nicholas. Now, interesting thing about Thomas Ian Nicholas, when he first read the screenplay, he saw untitled teenage sex comedy. And then he read the first page. Now, do you know what the original scene was supposed to be? The opening of this movie was supposed to be?
I used to know.
The original scene was supposed to be Thomas or Kevin going down on Vicky. That was originally supposed to be the opening scene, was him eating out Vicky. And he read that, immediately thought it was a porno, threw it in the trash, tossed the script, called his agent, pissed off. Why the fuck are you sending me a porno script? His agent had to tell him, like, it's not, just read it. Trust me. He read it, fell in love with it. And we have Thomas Ian Nicholas as Kevin here. And Vicky is played by
Tara Reid.
Tara Reid of Sharknado fame.
There's better things to know her by. But before we go
name it's American Pie, Sharknado.
There's definitely better things. But let's shoot through Thomas's filmography real quick, because let's see what he was into before American Pie. He's got some stuff. He was in Who's the Boss for an episode.
Who's the Boss?
He did Baywatch for an episode. Married with Children for 2 episodes. A lot of TV. Looks like a lot of TV. No real. Did a couple of TV movies. But you know what you really know him from?
What's that?
Rookie of the Year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Rookie of the Year.
93. He was Rookie of the Year.
Wasn't he also in...
he did the King Arthur's Court and stuff too.
Always made me want a Big Mac.
That's fair.
Makes a mean Big Mac in that movie.
Which I like. Man, both of those are good movies.
They're good movies. I don't think I'd want to watch them again.
I'd watch them again.
I feel like if I watched them again, they wouldn't be as good as I remember them being. I hate doing that.
We should do it sometimes still, though. Just get it out of your system. Yeah, Kid in King Arthur's Court. I didn't even watch A Kid in Aladdin's Palace.
Never even heard of that. Is that a sequel?
So Rookie of the Year is separate from both of those.
Right.
A Kid in King Arthur's Court and A Kid in Aladdin's Palace are the same character.
Different actors?
Same actor. So it's still him. It's still him. Yeah, I never even heard the Aladdin one.
Neither have I.
Then he was
Disney flicks?
I guess The Kid in Aladdin's Palace is just a video.
Straight to video sequel.
Yeah, so nothing too great there. And then he did one episode of the TV series of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show, that's straight in American Pie. Wow. He did a Chicken Soup for the Soul on the TV series. After this. Poor guy.
Yeah.
So probably,
a book killed the 90s.
God, yes. But probably one of our more, let's set aside Eugene Levy, probably up until this point was the more successful actor we've seen so far.
Yeah, Tara Reid was getting up there, though.
Tara Reid, she's probably our most closest to A-list at this time.
Yep.
Now, for Tara Reid, she was in 98, The Big Lebowski. She was the
dude abides.
She was Bunny Lebowski.
Get her toe.
Then she was in Urban Legend. She played Sasha Thomas.
That's a forgotten 90s gem. It's a good flick.
They did a sequel to it.
Yeah, they did a couple sequels.
Then she was in Cruel Intentions and then American Pie.
Yeah, she was out there. She was out there. She's put in the work. Now they're pulling up, and Kevin is, out of all of his friends, is the one who shouldn't be a virgin, but he is. He's got a little quarrel. His girlfriend, played by Tara Reid, Vicky, she's just not ready for sex.
Not ready for sex,
which that's fair. Sex is a two-way street.
Of course, that's a theme like in these teen comedies. There's just like there's the girl that, or the guy even really. There's always that character that just wants to be the perfect moment, perfect time, all the perfect.
It's not going to be perfect.
Listen, sex is always perfect, always.
Yeah.
At all times.
Yeah.
No, like for sure. But that's definitely like a character in these kind of films. It's just like it has to be the perfect moment, time, everything. And they believe sex is magic and all that.
Yeah. So and we find out through the movie that they kind of have a ticking clock with these two here, which we're getting on here. This also sets up the fact that here later we have a big party. Stiffmeister, who we'll get introduced here later, big party coming up, and Vicky's just not wanting to go. That's all these parties are people just drinking, having sex. It sounds like a bad.
But
time.
we have to go. It's a
bad time, just drinking, having sex. But one of the things, the ticking clock here, she has an envelope, and she wants Kevin to read it. She doesn't want to open it. She's too afraid. What's in the envelope? Like, what do we got here? This is also kind of a thing that goes into a lot of teen movies.
Yeah, we're trying to see if she's getting accepted to college. I can't remember which college.
I don't know which college. Probably like Michigan State, I think is what it is.
Yeah, just somewhere not close to Michigan, where he's going. We can pause it right there. You might see it. University. Does it just say university?
Probably. University. That's one of the biggest colleges.
Yeah,
Ivy League.
The university,
yeah. And unfortunately, she
it's Cornell.
Oh, Hornell. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Hornell. Cornell. Who else goes there?
I don't know.
Andy from The Office.
Oh, yeah. So do these exist in the same universe? Maybe
yeah. Cornell universe is the Cornell Cinematic Universe.
And he's just fucking around with her saying she didn't get accepted.
But psych.
You're
that's what shit in the old 90s. Psych. She made it. And you can kind of even tell here with his reaction, He's like, you got him. You kind of tell there's like something in his eyes. He's like, he's happy, but he knows.
Right.
And she also apparently drops the first L word here.
Right, yeah, we see it happen. What an awkward...
I love you, she says.
She's just excited. He's like, oh,
excited. You can kind of tell, like, okay.
So, I guess they did a good job of, like, building that there is a long history with these characters. I mean, he's driving her to school, his little Buick, I think it was.
Some little shitty car. That's good they did.
Some shitty car. But arguably probably are more, known actors at this point. If anyone, in 99 watching this, like, oh, I know that guy, but these two I know.
Man, 2 minutes. I'll give you a timestamp here. 2 minutes, 57 seconds, 12 milliseconds. What is this mural in the what is happening in this mural that they have in their school? I can't even, like, what is going on here?
I don't know where to explain first.
Okay, so we got two guys. I think
let's go left to right.
Okay, go left to right. Okay.
So you got a woman holding a book wearing she's more conservative type,
More conservative type, yeah.
And she's the most normal thing in this picture, probably.
Yeah, I would say.
Guy behind her wearing a blue long sleeve is drawing on the
I think
painting the wall.
Are they playing darts? They're like throwing darts at each other. It's like I don't know. His twin brother directly across from him.
It is his twin brother.
They're playing darts or something.
Wearing the same exact shirt.
There's another girl crouched down with a bowling ball or a basketball.
I thought basketball.
Another girl just looking down.
At her. I think she has a table in front of her.
Maybe, or she's missing half her torso. Or
I think
is she fused with the guy behind her? Maybe that's what it is. They're conjoined twins. Yeah. There's a conjoined twin. She's looking down at the other girl thinking like, man, what it must be to have your own set of legs.
And then right in the middle here, we have a guy with no shirt on, short-ass shorts.
Looks like he's holding a beer.
Like
he just wandered into the school.
Oh my God, what is this mural?
He's like, what's going on here, guys?
Then right in front of him is just some other guy, like kind of strangely leaned over with a long ass arm. His elbow is up by his shoulder.
Yep, going to snatch a book from this guy who's like trying to read.
And then right beside him is a guy with a similar type table that the girl on the far left is dealing with.
Yeah, a sign maybe. He's hunched over.
And then there's a kid.
And then there's a person of color that was drawn in last minute, kind of looking over.
Is that color or is that shadow?
It might be shadow. He's just looking off into the distance, thinking like, "What am I doing here?"
and then there's a guy on the ground just sitting on his butt reading a book.
Yeah, and it's
I have
the hell is
no
going
idea
on
what's
here?
going on. I get it's supposed to be some kind of weird collage, but Jesus, what is happening from person to person?
There's like it just does not. It's not like there's no like I don't even know. It's just making sense. What the hell's going on here? Yikes! All right,
but as we heard in the commentary, this scene right here is the first day, first shoot.
Yep, first day, first shoot, in their fake Michigan school, which was shot in California. And I know they a way they kind of Michigan it up, kind of East Coasted it up. We'll talk about a little bit, because it is like a pretty nice looking school for all things considered. Now Kevin is so amped.
Yeah, that was something with all these 90s kids films. Like it made me want to go to a school like that. Because our school was nothing like with these.
We went to a fucking poor ass school in the middle of nowhere, Ohio.
They had to do a tax levy to keep our school open.
Yeah, wild.
Because I don't even think I even to this day have been to a school of this magnitude. Like even just for any reason.
No, I don't think I have either. I mean, this is like a multi-level school. Very, very nice looking. I don't know. There's 22 days till prom. Here we see in prom 1990 countdown, 22 days.
Oh, there it is. That's what I was starting to want to break down, see what we have going on. So yeah, there's our prom countdown. So wow, they that's good. That's good.
Creating a timeline.
Great scenery they did there.
That's going to mean that basically they have 22 days to get laid.
What is that? Everything else, prom 99? Is that just like some
kind of display case? It looks like probably has like a
showing a theme.
Yeah. These 90s styles here, not too bad a style. Nothing that stands out as far as like cringy style.
Yeah, I mean a lot of this could just stand today even because.
It does feel like a timeless flick. They don't do a whole lot of stuff that really dates it aside from the technology in it.
What we got on the left here is student scholarships.
Student scholarships.
So they got a board where you go try to see what scholarships are available. Man. How horrible was our guidance counselor about our scholarships?
Yeah. I don't know if hopefully she's not a listener.
Even if she is, this is our time to unleash.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. You could not get a scholarship in our school unless your mom worked at the school. If your parent was a employee of the school, you had a pretty good chance getting a scholarship. But if you turned in a scholarship application and she didn't know who the fuck you were, it would get knocked off in the trash. She'd forget about it. Oh, I didn't see that.
Well, she would come in and tell us about scholarships. She'd be like, she'd be like going through like, well, this one's actually deadline was yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, guys, there's a great scholarship. You get a full ride. All you have to do is just hand in an application, and those are due. They were due yesterday.
Just like what the fuck?
But man, it would have been a great scholarship. If you guys would have known about it yesterday,
this would have been awesome.
If I would have came in here and did my job yesterday, you guys would have been set.
She was the worst.
Awful.
And and even like when she set us up for our senior year, because she like brought all the seniors in different groups, basically letting everyone know like what credits they need to graduate and everything. Yeah. And I was part of like one of the, I think you were too. Yeah. Like, well, you have enough credits to graduate, but it doesn't mean you don't do work this year. Like, just fuck it done.
Yeah, exactly. They told me that. They're like, they came for us in our sophomore year, and we're like, hey, you've got enough credits. This next year is pretty much a formality. I was like, that's what it is. I'm just coasting through this fucking year. My senior year is I'm kicking back and
they shouldn't have told us a fucking thing.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a standard thing. Did anyone else's guidance counselor tell them that their senior year was just a formality? Because ours did. Yeah, and it didn't do shit for our educational. No. Yeah, it was something. Thank you for letting her. That's one good thing she did. At least I knew I didn't have to do shit my senior year. And I did.
She gave me a year off,
and I didn't do shit my senior year. So,
oh god, no,
that's on her.
Yeah, that's on that. That's on her.
That is on her.
I imagine there's some great scholarships on that board, and it stays up to date in this school. And
yeah.
Oh, look at these jorts over here, though. This
George knee-high shorts. I wear knee-highs. I like above the knee shorts. I hate below the knee short.
I like to do below knee when I can for some reason. I don't know. I guess I really don't put too much thought into it. What other 90s style do we have? What other kind of styles we have going on?
I mean, flannels were kind of that end of the time grunge. You had some cargo pants.
Layers. Love layers going on.
Layers. I like layers. It's just a big guy thing.
When I do layers, I do like the gym kind of layers. So I'll have like a t-shirt and like the unbuttoned shirt.
Yeah, button flannel.
So that's not a bad style. If I do layers, I do that.
It's not a bad style. Oz and Kevin though looking pretty sharp.
So how do we think Kevin is friends with these guys at this point in the film.
Kevin, I could see him all just like, I don't know. Yeah,
I wonder if Kevin like writes for the school paper or something.
You think he's one of those people?
If they don't play. That's the thing. The only person we really play on what they do in the school is like Oz.
Right.
He plays lacrosse. Like that's his connection to school. The rest of these guys really don't have a connection to the school.
Yeah.
Other than just being there.
Well, hey, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So I did my senior year. I was just there. I was there to cause chaos.
Kevin's wearing one of those seashell bracelets. I used to have the necklace.
God, we got to get those. We should get some of those for the show. Just to have.
We don't have to.
We should.
Any kind of special 90s going on? Not really.
Not really. Let's see here what we got.
Like you said, though, they did a pretty good job keeping it timeless for the style and everything. It's a very generic style. No one has like tattoos or anything going on.
It's all pretty cookie cutter. I mean, you can watch this movie at any time, and it doesn't feel like so 90s in your face. I guess you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's pretty timeless for the most part. If you just look past some of the technology, I think you're pretty much in the clear as far as that goes.
Yeah, you couldn't update this film with technology though. You don't want to do that.
No. That's not start kicking around any reboot ideas.
You hear us, Disney?
Yeah.
Universal, Warner Brothers, you hear us?
Don't let Disney acquire American Pie. I don't want to see what happens there.
All right, let's get moving on here.
Yeah, because we got some introductions coming up here next. We got Vicky, played by Tara Reid, as we discussed, and we have Jessica, played by Natasha Lyonne, who is actually really pretty prominent now. Like she's really worked way up. She's most notable.
I think she struggled with drugs and stuff there for a while, didn't she?
Possibly. I didn't really look into her on that.
What's her last name?
Lyonne. Bronstein is her full name. Her stage name is just Natasha Lyonne. People will probably recognize her outside of American Pie, most notably for Orange is the New Black. And she actually got some Emmy Award nominations for that. And also the Netflix series Russian Doll, which is still going on. That's her starring. She actually had a hand in creating that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, she actually created on that and the lead actress. And that's still going on. She writes for it. She also directs.
She's
She's a 3-time Emmy Award nominee.
Yeah. She did struggle with drugs for a while.
She came right out of it though.
Yeah,
because man, she's got a show right now on Peacock called Poker Face, which is a 10-part mystery series. So
yeah, there's like an article here where she's talking about she revisited her past of drugs when she got on Orange is the New Black. I mean, good for her. She's married to, or I don't know if she's married. She's with Fred Armisen. Don't know him. Oh, you know him if you see him. Let me look up Fred. Yeah, Fred Armisen. You know that guy. Oh yeah, He's pretty one of those that guy actors and a lot of shit. Does a lot of stuff with Seth Meyers and Bill Hader and all those guys. So that's interesting. So, you know, I thought she was lesbian. I'm not gonna lie. Thought she was lesbian. She might be non-binary or like a. I know they make her. I know they make her lesbian, and later she's a lesbian in this series. She's lesbian. Yeah, in the series, but right now they don't reveal her as that or anything. Yeah, they do. Do they? Not here in this part, but they. I don't think they do in this film. I think they do it later. Yeah, they do. Huh. When she's talking to Finch, we'll get to it. She does reveal she's a lesbian. I thought she just told him not a chance. Oh, maybe it's just implied, but I mean she's So what we got here? We got there's some tryouts going on. Some tryouts, can't see. For next year, no, it's cut off tryouts. Good turnout though. Good turnout. And how about this classic Mountain Dew logo? Did they get sponsored by Mountain Dew? That seems like sponsorship. It's pretty blatant. You look at the way she's holding the can. Yeah, it's a blatant sponsorship. I like something. You can't have soda machines in schools anymore. That's a '90s thing. Really? Yeah, you can. It's I think that was when the Obama administration, I think, took that out of there for the. Well, that's good. Like better nutrition. Oh, absolutely. You know, I used to in high school. Not my freshman year. In junior high, you know what I had for lunch every day? What's that? I would have 4 Little Debbie cupcakes and a bottle of Pepsi. Well, no wonder you're overweight then. No wonder I was overweight. It's a shame. Sometimes you look back, you're just like, no fucking wonder. I look back, I'm like, man, I cannot believe I survived high school with both my feet. I can't believe you survived after high school because you used to do your Thai manwich. Oh yeah, that was a pretty good sandwich. That's a lot of protein. a lot of G's of P in that. But man, I like something they talk about in the commentary of this film. If you watch it, is like how much better they made the school look than it actually was. Mm-hmm. I just like those kind of like little
shocking. Yeah. It looks like a pretty nice school from everything we saw. I mean, I'm surprised they had updated that much.
Oh yeah, he's like they had to like paint the lockers, paint the walls, and everything, and I guess they just really prettied up the place.
Classic Mountain Dew vending machine. It's caught my eye. It's like just front and center.
She's got that weird little dragon bag, if you remember that style.
Here we're introduced to our band geeks and everyone's favorite band geek, Michelle.
I like Michelle.
Played by Allison Hannigan. Now, Allison, up until this, I mean, she was doing shit before this, I'm pretty sure. She was in, I think she was in Buffy, wasn't she? Or
she was in Buffy and from 97.
Yeah, she was a main role. Yeah, she was a main role in there. Willow Rosenberg.
Yeah.
Not a big Buffy guy. Maybe you look back on it. Ben from Cult of Lore, huge Buffy fan. So that's a little trivia for everyone there. I had just not got into it. I don't know. I might need to go back and watch it because I do love those 90s TV shows.
Well, as far as it comes to Allison, my favorite, I know her the best from is How I Met Your Mother. I watched that multiple of times.
Flicks, though, she started, her first movie was in 1986. She was in a movie called Impure Thoughts. She's also in My Stepmother is an Alien, which sounds like something I would have watched but never watched.
You probably did, though.
Dan Aykroyd's in it. Yeah, maybe. Dead Man on Campus. Vaguely remember that movie. It's got Thomas Everett Scott in it and Mark Paul Gosselaar, who I love. Mark Paul Gosselaar, Saved by the Bell, fantastic actor. She was in that. So she was kind of dipping her toes in the teen stuff.
No, she did 2 episodes in that 70s show. Oh yeah, she was the cop. That's right.
Yep, she was in Roseanne for an episode, which I love the Roseanne original series.
Did a few Buffy things here and there still.
144 episodes of Buffy. And then she did Angel for a couple episodes. But yeah, she was a working girl. She was probably pretty recognizable when this came around.
I think what she does...
Buffy started what? Buffy started in 97. So she'd been doing Buffy for a couple years.
I don't see it on her filmography, which I don't think it would. But she was also doing Full Penn and Teller there for a while. I don't know if you ever watched that. Where you know Penn and Teller?
Yeah, I know
Magician.
Penn and Teller.
Yeah, they have like a show called Full Penn and Teller where magicians try to come on and trick them on like how they did the trick, if they could figure it out or not. And she was like the kind of emceeing of that, introducing people and everything. That was pretty fun.
Now, for the most part, take this in. We're looking here at our band geeks. We're at 3 minutes, 22 seconds, by the way. We just get introduced to our band geeks, and these are some geeky looking people, including a rare sight in the first couple American Pie movies, an African American person. Don't get too used to seeing them and seeing African American people in these movies because she may be Indian.
Yeah,
this movie not a lot of color in the American Pie first movies.
If they're placing it in the Midwest, Michigan,
exactly. But you know what? It never becomes an issue. So now Michelle, she just looks like your sweet little innocent band geek. Got a little Bambi t-shirt on.
Looks a little pale.
I mean,
she's a redhead, so I guess that's to be expected.
And she's just a goofy gal. She's surrounded by all the band geeks, and she has, you know what you should do in band today? You know what you should do?
What should you do?
Play our instruments backwards. That's silly goose energy. Give it off big silly goose vibes. I love it. And they do. They decide, let's just, and these are some geeky looking dudes.
I don't remember. We'll have to get into it again because I think they mention it later in the commentary, but I don't think they mentioned it at this point where they didn't really show her too much because they didn't think, I think there was like something, I have to find it, where they didn't expect her to be a big role. And at some point they decided that she was going to be with Jim and all that.
I love it when we're watching this. Like she's not like always front and center, but she's always there. And we'll see it throughout the show that she's just always there. Like things are happening and she's just in the background. She even reacts to a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
And she's just there. I love it. It just makes everything feel so cohesive. So if that was a last minute decision, kudos on them because it was great.
So where are we going next? Things that band kids find funny.
Things that band kids find funny. Yeah. And Jim even, gives her the old like, oh, geez. Back to Vicky.
Yeah, we're kind of just bouncing back. Hey, pause it right here. Let's see what's on the side of this girl's locker. Oh, back it up. Again, my ADD is like, what is this back here? Especially when you're doing like a dissection like this. You're like, what are you not paying attention to? Are they done? Because a lot of films, they do subtleties, Because even like with like in the last, where they came in on that scene into the schools, like they have the prom countdown even. I like finding subtleties like that kind of give you a sense of the space of what's going on.
The kids still have lockers in schools now?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Sure, yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
I don't know. But we didn't take a look at Vicky and the other girl's style. They're very
Dresses,
crazy.
skirts.
She's wearing a butterfly 2-piece. That's wild. A butterfly skirt and a butterfly t-shirt with an Oriental dragon bag.
And again, layers. They got their little cardigans or
Layers,
whatever.
gotta have the layers. Jessica, not too bad a style. I like her style. Looking pretty sharp. Here in the locker, I don't know, not much in there. Just some stationery. Not a lot in there.
Something with people signing it.
Looks like I bet that was probably the person before her. That's probably a relic from years previous. They covered up the JanSport logo on the backpack with some gaffer tape. Guess they couldn't get the JanSport, the superior school backpack. Going to try to get that JanSport sponsorship for quality backpacks for your school experience. Choose JanSport. The only school backpack officially endorsed by Cult Talk Net. That's JanSport.
I carry a Dell backpack.
I mean, you get yourself a JanSport.
since they're officially sponsoring all that.
I have a Swiss Tech, but if I had the choice, I would get a JanSport.
So what are these two talking about now? Because we're still in our title sequence.
Yeah, she's telling her, like, Vicky is like, she's so sure that her and Kevin are going to be fine. There's no reason they shouldn't work out. And Jessica kind of has to take her into reality and say, listen, what do you expect Kevin to drive to Cornell for if you aren't given anything, if you aren't giving him a reason to? Because she's so sure Kevin is completely content with not having sex. She thinks he's fine. It's not a big deal. And Jessica's just telling her, like, it's a bigger deal than you think.
Is he going to travel 2 hours for milk and cookies?
Yep, for milk and cookies.
And I think this is where we see where it kind of suffers, where Kevin didn't get the opening scene where he's like eating her out or something. It didn't have to be the opening scene, because the opening scene, it could have been where he is down on her, because they kind of talk about here where she's like, have you ever had an orgasm and stuff like that? I think that's right here. And she's like, yeah, I think that would have been a nice part where he did go down on her and they are doing like, that kind of stuff. And he's not getting her off. I think it would have been better arc for later, as we'll see, that when he does get her off. I think it would have been nice to just have that kind of timing in all this to see that happen. Yeah,
but you think it would have made, it probably made Kevin feel a little more like the main character. Which is I mean, there's really no main characters in this first movie, I would say.
The only reason it becomes Jim, I feel, is because of his dad. Like those moments he has with his dad. I think that's the only reason it makes him the main character in a sense. Because we follow him mostly, We follow him and even when you get to the second part, we follow him. He's our opening scene again. He's the one that gets married later. He's the one we follow in the reunion.
But Vicky's so content that they will have sex, right place, right time. And I like Jessica's line, it's not a space shuttle, it's sex.
Right.
You're not building a space shuttle, it's just sex. But here we are. We meet our next, our last part of our quartet of virgins, Finch. Paul Finch.
Who was the youngest of the ensemble at this point.
Yeah, played by Eddie K. Thomas. He only 19 when what was he? He was only 17. Only 17 when they shot this movie. Youngest one. Prior to this,
which gave him some obstacles to cover later in the film because he was the youngest.
Looks like he was, prior to this, he was in an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Love that show. Felicity, 2 Guys and a Girl, One Life to Live. Looks like he was in a couple episodes of Law and Order, classic. And movie-wise, we got him in Mr. Jealousy. Never heard of that movie. Stars Eric Stoltz. Not a big Eric Stoltz fan. Boring guy. Movie called Harvest. Movie called Illtown. And looks like the same year that this comes out, March of this year, March 12th. So a few months ago, before American Pie, he had Rage, Carrie 2. The ill-fated sequel to the classic Carrie movie, which I've never seen. I heard it was bad. He was in that. He had a role in that. So
is this his first film though? Right?
No, not his first film. This is his 5th film canonically. He's the mature one of the group.
Yeah.
He's classy.
Yeah, I wouldn't say mature, but he tries to do the classy guy.
Yeah,
thing.
He's classy. He's got a nice thermos of. It's not coffee. He's not drinking coffee. Yeah, we don't see him drink coffee. He is drinking a mochaccino.
It's a mochaccino.
And reading the paper, which, I'm sure
It's like, why is he trying so hard?
Yeah, why? He's got the saddlebag, he's got mochaccino, and he's reading the paper with his legs crossed, sitting on the bench. He looks like he's out of like an art film.
I guess he is like the smart one of the group, is why they keep him around.
Yeah,
because they start asking for like, did you get that Latin homework done? And he starts speaking in Latin. So,
which we found out was the writer of the film took Latin, so he just wanted to squeeze it in there. Just he says in Latin. I'm not going to try to repeat it, but he basically says in Latin, "The dog ate my homework."
Right.
Which, if you know Latin, you know what that is.
If you want to know a dead language, you go right ahead.
Yeah, I don't have the mental capacity to.
But I guess that's why they'd keep him around, because he's the smart one. Because again, I'm trying to figure like how all these guys fit together and why they're friends. Because in a sense, you like to think like they're neighbors or something. But I mean, I guess Kevin lives nearby because he's able to run back and forth later.
Not even that near. I mean, a couple blocks. It looks like,
close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
So I like to think they're neighbors that grew up together. I mean, it just seems like they're guys that have just been going to school forever.
Because it does look like a big school.
Right.
Thing. It looks like a big school. I don't know.
A few thousand, like it'd be a couple thousand in your graduating class type
right.
thing.
Because even there was like groups of people in our classes that we didn't even interact with. I couldn't even tell you their names. And we had a pretty small class, but these guys somehow found themselves in there. I mean, it's high school though. It's all about, you have a couple classes together, you do a couple activities, and you're just friends by proxy at that point.
I'm glad that something they didn't do in this film though is focus on the graduation day and anyway, because that's something like a lot of school films will do.
It's all about prom.
But it seems like they keep him around. Maybe they all do sports. I don't know.
And are you ready for the breakout character in this movie?
Which no one they couldn't have expected this to be the breakout character, because they just really needed a douche.
We hear off screen Nova, which we find out is Oz's other nickname, Nova.
As in Casanova.
Sean William Scott.
The actor.
The man. The myth.
Who I would argue probably had the better career of all of them after this.
Absolutely. Stifler is a standout. Stifler has a great art through the series. You could tell they never thought he was going to be like that big of a breakout, but he has a great arc, especially in American Wedding. He's fantastic. So
what did he do before American Pie? Some music video stuff. He was in Aerosmith's music video, did some TV. This really his first gig to be really notable, because he did Unhappily Ever After for one episode, Sunny Delight commercial,
Sunny D,
Born into Exile TV movie, Aerosmith, Hole in My Soul. He's a football player in music video. Something So Right, did one episode in that, 98. And he did something for Chad's World. He played Jim in a TV short. And then American Pie.
So he got it. And he is just he is just full on. This is the character, like everyone that went and seen this movie was like, I'm Stifler. Dude, I'm Stifler. Like, I am totally, I'm the Stiffmeister. How many guys you think at this time started like adding Meister to their last names?
Ugh, probably too many.
If I'd have been of age this time, I'd have been like the Tie Meister. I guarantee it.
You would have made yourself Tie Meister.
I was a pretty big.
It's like, I'm totally that dude.
I am the Tie Meister, bro.
But Sean, he definitely broke out after this. I mean, he went into Final Destination, Dude, Where's My Car? He was in James and Bob, of course. He did that Bulletproof Monk film. Did you ever watch that?
Yep.
That was a good one. Did the Rundown, Dukes of Hazzard.
He's one of those guys that you see nowadays. You see just like randomly in things. Like, I'll just see a movie and like Sean William Scott pop up, and he's instantly recognizable.
So he's here, broing it up. What's it? Steve Meister? No,
Stiffmeister.
Why'd I go Steve?
Steve. Well, it's Steve Stifler.
Oh yeah, that's
his
right.
name.
Steve Meister. Yeah.
So it could have worked. Steve Meister, Stiffmeister, but he is Stifler.
And he's here, broing it up. He's probably the richest guy out of the group.
He definitely seems that way. Well, he's got a single mom who is off doing exotic things. So,
and who knows where the dad is?
Yeah. We never see Stiff. I don't know if he has a dad. I think it's a single mom. I don't know, because I never see a.
She's
Mr.
talked about the
Stifler.
Divorce.
Yeah.
I know
they are going through divorce. Okay.
Well, I think they are fully divorced. So he's probably just in the middle of all that. He comes from a broken home.
I bet he had a rich dad, and his mom got like a bunch of stuff in the divorce. I feel like you coming to the party tonight, Ozzy fuckface.
Does he say fuckface?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you fuckface. Depends if my date wants to go or whatever, because Oz is still trying. They're all trying to get laid.
They are.
They all have their little schemes.
And their different way of doing things are all trying to get laid.
And Stifler's just getting laid all the time.
He apparently he just gets laid consistently, which is a good looking guy. I believe it. And he's got
plays
that
lacrosse.
He's got that energy. He's got that getting laid energy. He's got an idea for him. Listen up, boys. Why don't you just take your dicks out remove the shrink wrap, and actually fucking use them. What an idea.
Dude, it's going to happen. She's a college.
Yeah, Oz is dealing with a college chick.
Because if we know anything about college chicks, they'll put out the high schoolers.
College chicks love to fuck high school kids.
It's just pure facts right there. Spin facts, Oz, Mr. Nova.
Well, we had a friend in high school who was dating a college girl.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I spent the night before graduation, got shit faced at her apartment the night before.
Yeah, I never went to her apartment, but I definitely got trashed at his apartment after high school and stuff.
Oh yeah, fun times.
I never went to we'll get to that in the next episode about the parties.
Yeah,
they're all trying their own little thing, and Stiff Meiser just giving them a hard time.
I love the line. They all say, "We're coming to the party," and he says, "I'll look for you in the no fucking section." Because again, it's so stupid, but it's one of those things that you a high school guy would be like, "Yeah, it's great."
That's fucking funny. Like giving him a hard time. Man. So they're literally only friends with him. You can tell for the parties, for money, really too. Later, as far as it goes.
Yeah. School has passed. We don't spend a lot of time in school, but we come to this a location which is pretty prominent. I think all the movies. I don't know. I'm trying to think if we go there in Wedding, but I know in 2 we go there. I know we do in Reunion. Doggy Years. Dog Years.
Not Doggy.
Dog Years, the hot dog place. And take a look here. I paused at a nice location. 4 minutes 58 seconds. This timestamp on this one. Get a nice look at this totally Michigan.
Wasn't it totally made up though? Or no,
this is actually in California. It was a shot at. Dog Years is made up. I guess it's inspired by a place in Michigan that the writer used to go to, but this is a made up location. Interesting enough, to rewind a little bit, in high school, when Stifler is introduced, they talk about in the commentary that they put fake brick walls in the high school to make it look more East Coast, because I guess they don't use a lot of that in West Coast high schools. Everything's a little more sleeker looking, but
it's designed later. It's less historic in the West Coast and everything like that.
True.
So now in background here we have a mural that makes more sense than the previous mural we dissected.
Yes, yeah, this is a lot more of a more concise mural.
6 blocks from downtown.
6 blocks from downtown. See. Great Falls. So
I'm surprised you're able to read that. Jesus, that was hard for me to get.
I've got fantastic eyesight.
I guess. I mean, it's just poor contrast. I don't know.
So see Great Falls. So Great Falls is apparently the I guess a actual place to go visit in Great Falls. It's named after Great Falls. And we see some old pioneers just waving to the Great Falls as they're passing by. We also got a Vespa who we see later who that belongs to.
Is that really a parking spot for the Vespa?
It looks like it's just parked on a crosswalk, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's what it feels like. Did anyone, I guess that would be, is that Kevin's car back there?
Yeah, that is. Good eye. Yeah, that's Kevin's car.
At least it might be anyway.
I think that is Kevin's car. Good eye. That makes a lot of sense.
Because I'm wondering if these guys are in walking distance to this or whatever.
Yeah, it looks like they drove there.
Yeah. Definitely not walking from school.
Yeah, it's Kevin's just arriving. Kevin's is shut up solo.
Is that Kevin? That's not Kevin.
Nope, not Kevin.
Just some guy.
Just another white guy.
another white guy in Michigan.
Another white guy. Oop, my bad. Here's one thing I always noticed. Why are they double cupped?
Just why are they double cupped?
Are they drinking milkshakes? Maybe a way they make the milkshake or something?
Maybe, because both of them.
What if there's ice in that or in his?
Yeah, because now that we're inside Dog Year, they're sitting around the table.
Is it lean? I hear the rappers put 2 cups when they do the lean. Are these leaners?
I don't know why it's double cupped. I never noticed that before.
I've always noticed it. I was like, why are they double cupped?
I've accidentally grabbed 2 cups at one time.
Well, these are both double cupped, and I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's that's not like it was a mistake. They're
all double cupped. Look, all 4 of the cups are double cupped.
Why are they all double cupped?
I don't know. It's a wild looking shot. Let me take it back here. Let's take a look at what we got behind Jim and Kevin, because we see Jim and Kevin first. So we got back here.
You got me hung up on this double cup bullshit.
I don't get it. Is
that Chinese writing over there by the hot dog?
Maybe it's a hot. Dog Years isn't a Chinese restaurant. I don't think.
But that's Chinese writing. I'm not wrong, right? That's Chinese writing on that card.
It might be. Or some kind of symbols. I don't know.
What the fuck is this place?
Look at the size of these menus for a hot dog place.
And they already have their food. Why do they still have the menus?
Maybe it's one of those places that use the menus as the placemat. But I don't know. They're multi-page. Look like newspapers.
God damn it. Why are they...
So nice red bread. Looks like a pizzeria. Got some pie on there. You get your ice cream, fountain service.
which we know is just this is just a set.
Just because we actually looked up like where Dog Years was. We was actually kind of thinking like, let's take a trip to Dog Years, but it's not a real place.
Not real.
Some fishing, guy fishing. That's very northeast.
Yeah, you just look at the things on the pictures back here.
Fishing, yeah.
Got some palm trees back there on one picture.
That's very northeast too. You want to be reminded of places that are warmer. Just eat some hot dogs and soda pops
or shakes, perhaps. Man, that's the only thing.
There's ice in the. There's ice. They might be shakes. They might be shakes. They might be shakes.
That's the only thing I can imagine why they're double cupped. Too cold to hold.
I think that's it. They're shakes.
I'm going with that because I can't think of any other fucking reason to double cup it like that.
They're shakes. And here we kind of get an idea of Finch, also his weird habits. He rinses his mouth out every time he eats.
Yes, which sure you're supposed to kind of do that. What kind of
annoys the shit out of Oz, apparently.
Oz is really pissed about it.
Interesting enough, the people sitting behind Oz and Finch, I believe, are the writer's ex-roommates.
Yeah.
So they were roommates while he's writing American Pie. So what a cool thing to get him in there.
Let's see what signs we have behind these guys. We got
Cherry Sparkle, 5 cents, ice cold. It looks like some Chinese dictator.
Is Dog Years a Chinese restaurant? Jesus.
It can't be. It can't be.
That right there looks like it has Chinese writing on it also by the hot dog.
It cannot be a Chinese restaurant.
I mean, it shouldn't be, but it's like...
I doubt it's Chinese. I don't know what that is, but it does look like some like some Chinese dictator like painting. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. French maybe? French dictator maybe? I don't know. Weird decor in here.
Yeah,
weird decor. Can't make out a lot of it, but it looks like a Midwest pizzeria. It looks like somewhere we would have went.
He didn't even finish his hot dog.
I know.
I imagine he's done with a shake.
He's going to Rinson. This is like a place we would have went to in high school.
Are they wearing the same clothes from earlier?
Yes, they are. They are.
I'll know when I see Jim again for sure.
Yeah, they are wearing the same clothes. I know Finch and Oz are at least.
Because I'm about to try to figure out this timeline. Yeah, they're
all wearing the same clothes.
So let me get this straight. Jim jerking off all day Sunday. Goes to bed. Goes to school next day, tells Oz all about it.
It could have been a Sunday.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
it had to have been a Thursday. Because who throws a party on a Monday night?
That's what I was just getting to. I'm like, what is the timeline here?
It had to be on a Thursday, which makes sense because I imagine these guys are out on the weekends all the time. So it had to be a Thursday. Nice Thursday yank.
A Thursday yank. Okay.
Yeah. Getting yourself ready for the weekend. Loosen it up. Getting through that last day. Good on you.
He's getting the easy ones out before the party on Friday night, where he's definitely going to get laid.
Because you want to have the easy ones out that way you last.
Yeah, you want to be a stud.
Yeah, you want to be a stud, a genetic jackhammer. And
so we're 22 days before prom. Thursday night yanking. Friday telling Oz all about it.
Friday night getting dogs and shakes with the boys. Getting ready for the big night.
Speaking of the boys, how was your drink? I already drank through mine.
Yeah, I drank through mine. Fantastic.
Ciderboys.
Refreshing. I would definitely have another Mad Bark.
Mad Bark by
Ciderboys for the boys. Recommend it. Finch, weird dude. Now he's rinsed his mouth out. He's vocalizing. He's just a weird fella. Just a weird fella. But hey, he's got something up his sleeve. So it's all a matter of he's got a plan.
Right, yeah, they're all basically talking about their own individual plan. I think that's something like Kevin gets at later, which we'll get into.
Yeah, this is classic teen movie thing where like they can't make it through high school without losing their virginity.
Yeah,
they're like desperate. We cannot make it out without losing our virginity.
So they're all just talking about like kind of their different plans for the evening. So Finch has his own thing he's working on. Kevin,
foolproof plan.
Yeah, foolproof plan. Oz, he's just like, it's a college chick. I got to move. Like, I don't think he ever talks about like what he's going to say until he just says he has a thing he's going to try.
Right. Jim is going after he's got a little foreign fever. He's going after the foreign exchange chick, the Czechoslovakian Nadia, who is a bombshell played by Shannon Elizabeth, who we'll meet in the next episode. But he's thinking about taking a shot.
And then Kevin, he just has Vicky. He already has Vicky. So I think he's just thinking he's going to get laid tonight just because.
Yeah, they're at a party. Everyone else is doing it. Why not?
So they're all trying to get laid tonight at this party.
But we have a decision to make here. If Nadia is there, which Jim is she going to prefer?
Yeah,
that's the question. Because I mean, I want to know what you think. So, do you think she's going to prefer laid back Jim, or could it possibly be that she's more of a hip, cool Jim? Which Jim do you prefer?
There is a difference in this hair that he does. I mean, really is, but it's like
okay, yeah, yeah.
Because he said they're fucking with his hair. I don't know. She would like cool, laid back Jim. I think.
Well, it's either cool hip Jim or laid back Jim.
Oh,
you just combine. You can't
combine it. Damn it,
combine it.
Fine.
You only gave 2 choices.
Yeah, cool hip Jim, laid back Jim. Probably laid back Jim.
I'm gonna go cool hip Jim.
Cool hip Jim.
Yeah, I'm gonna go cool hip Jim.
Cool whip,
cool hip
Jim.
Yeah, because we never get a thing from the guys. They just critique his awesome flannel.
Yeah,
they say nothing's gonna matter with that shirt you're wearing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that shirt. Yeah.
And then they start talking about Kevin's like, yeah, at least I made the second base, third base, or whatever.
Yeah, but he's stranded on third.
Stranded
with a girlfriend.
He's like, at least I'm because that's he's making fun for me stranded on third. He's like, well, at least I made the third base. You're just a bat boy.
Ooh, baseball terminology. Baseball. These guys have their baseball their baseball things, and they might be baseball players.
Right?
I don't know.
Man, they were in there for a while.
They were
because we
chilled out, relaxing, kicking back, having some dogs and shakes. The boys, you don't rush that kind of stuff.
You don't rush that because now look, the streets are even more busy.
Yeah, it's later in the evening. It's definitely a Friday night. People are out going.
Couldn't have been Kevin's car. That's because push play there.
Oh, is it gone?
Is it dry? Is that car dry? Yeah.
No, it's still there.
It might be.
It's still there. That's his car. It's definitely his car. So they have their plan tonight. Friday night, they're going to go to the big party.
The big party.
Jim has a question. This question, perfect way.
Sets up the film.
Yeah, sets it up. What does third base actually feel like?
And I guess we presume that Oz knows.
Well, Oz is definitely been with more girls. He's like closed the deal, I think's what it is. Like he's definitely fucked around.
Yeah, probably.
He hasn't closed the deal.
Probably like a lot of blowjobs, a lot of fingering.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a stud. Kevin tells him, "You handle this, Oz," and that's where we get the line. One of the most iconic lines of the franchise. Feels like warm apple pie.
But what kind of pie?
Yeah, what kind of pie? McDonald's or homemade?
Which. It'd probably go over more well with
I kind of wish the scene would have ended there.
Just right there?
Yeah, that would have been a good part for the scene to end, but it doesn't.
Yeah, they kept wanting Finch to drive away.
Yeah. Finch was supposed to say, "Gentlemen, destiny awaits," and right off into the sunset. What actually happens is because this Vespa apparently just legitimately does not want to start, it chokes out on it, and they all look and laugh as he...
I guess they shot that like a few times. They just kept stalling out.
Yep. So they eventually said, fuck it, go with it.
Like, fine, you stalled out. Finch stalled. That's fine.
Yep. But there it was. That was our first slice of American Pie slices.
Became kind of a big chunk of slice.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff to talk about. This movie is just a classic. And next episode, we are going to be talking about a big scene. Big scenes, because we're doing 3 scenes next episode. We're going to be exploring the pandemonium of Stifler's big party, the big one. It's a blast. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah, it's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good episode.
So, what was your favorite part about this recap here?
Ooh, favorite part. I love the stuff in dog years.
Stuff in dog years.
I like any time our 4 guys are together.
Yeah,
which becomes 5 in the sequels. But this focuses a lot on the virgins, what they're called.
Mm-hmm.
I love those characters. I think that's one of the things that sets this movie apart so much from like other just like teen comedies. Is these guys have really good chemistry and they feel like real people. You can kind of relate to each of them on a different level, and it has heart. That's what at the center of this pie is heart.
Yes, center of the pie is heart. McDonald's or homemade pie? What do you think? If you had to pick what third base felt like, is it
probably a McDonald's, right? It's more tubular, more. If you're gonna fuck a pie, it'd probably
that's the one I'd prefer to try to fuck if I really had to.
I feel like that makes the most sense. Is the fucking McDonald's apple pie. Let us know if you fucked a McDonald's apple pie in the comments below. I'd be interested to hear about it. Let it cool, because I was saying those things come out steaming.
So what was something you picked up since we're breaking it down? Because we're kind of breaking this down real time.
The timeline. I think the timeline is definitely nice to dissect. Because you don't think a lot about when you're just watching a movie through. You don't think a lot about the timeline, where things are, when things are happening.
Yeah.
Still a little confused about the first scene. What does Jim have, like an 8:30 bedtime? Because
it was definitely daytime.
It was. How would you sleep at? I couldn't imagine. I'm in my 30s now. Sometimes I go to sleep at like 7:30. If I'm like, there's sometimes I'll just come home, just go right to bed. It's not
like I'm over it.
Yeah, there's sometimes, but
I liked I never realized how ridiculous that mural was in the high school.
That was wild. I have never taken
God.
that. I've never sat back and looked at that. That's wild. We're definitely going to post that. Keep it on our social media. I want to post a picture of that mural so you can take a look at that. Give me your thoughts on that, because it is. I don't know what the fuck is going on in that thing.
I think that was my favorite thing, just breaking that thing down. Like, Jesus Christ, that was horrible.
Yeah, but I'm definitely excited for the next episode. This next scene is pretty wild.
Yes,
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about in this.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun journey, I feel. I think it's going to be more fun than I thought it was, because we definitely had a lot to talk about in this, and we found a lot of things that we didn't know about. Things it brought back into some nostalgia, because this film just does that. So we go back to older memories, which I'm sure others do as well when they kind of watch these old flicks. So what else do they have the audience have looking forward on Cult Talk Net feeds?
So next Tuesday, Cult Talk Conspiracy, one of my shows, is starting our Summer at Sea summer event, all sea-based conspiracies through June, July, and August. Going to make you question everything before you step back into the water. And that's all we got really going on for next week. That's it. And then, of course, this is a weekly podcast. So we got 6 episodes in store for you guys. Next week, you will be getting the second episode of American Pie Slices. We hope you enjoyed this taste, and we hope you come back for a second serving. Make sure you guys follow us at Cult Talk Net everywhere you find your favorite podcasts. You can find our shows, Cult Talk Conspiracy every other Tuesday, Cult of Campbell on Mondays, Cult of Lore every first and third Thursday of the month. Also check out youtube.com/Cult Talk Net for a really great video episode of that. They do a lot of work on that. Cult Talk Net, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all the things. Make sure you rate us here on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on. Give us a little rating. Helps us out a lot. And give us a rating. I like to hear what people have to say about these shows. We hope you guys are excited to join us on this this trip back to the 90s.
99.
As we just dissect this delicious little slice of nostalgia. American Pie Slices. I've been Ty.
I've been Michael.
And on to the next step.
The next step. Woo!